The following podcast is an enticing media production.
Where the Nell have you been? Join us for conversation about life, business, and everything in between. Welcome to What the Nell, where we've got stories to tell. Here's your host, Nell Tice.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another brand new episode of the What the Nell podcast with your host, Nell Tice. You guys are in for a treat today because we've got another solo episode coming directly to you in your ears, and I'm super excited because I'm talking about something that I'm pretty passionate about today, and that's YouTube. And I am going to give you some tips for what not to do on YouTube. We always talk about, what should I be doing? But what shouldn't you be doing on YouTube? And I gotta say, I'm really passionate about this because I do believe if you are building a brand, you have a very well-established brand, you're a business, you're trying to grow something, there's no reason that you shouldn't be on YouTube. And there are some statistics showing the popularity of podcasts on YouTube. And there's no reason why podcasts shouldn't be there either. And I'll tell you a story about a conversation I had with a friend about that in a little bit. But I'm all in on YouTube. If you can't tell, I've been pushing it hard in our enTICEingmedia newsletters lately. And I've been pushing it hard with clients. And YouTube management has become something that our business is doing, and a very valuable part of our business, actually, that I didn't really expect, at least at this level. And I'll just give you a brief history about why I'm qualified to tell you about YouTube. So back in 2019, my husband and I started our travel YouTube channel called Kenny and Nell, which still exists today. We basically upload 2 videos a month. And while we are actually just filmed a video this past weekend, we're making a couple of shifts to the channel, but nothing super crazy. We're still going to have some travel content and things like that, but we're thinking about just elevating it and shifting it a little bit more towards lifestyle and showing you what actually happens in our daily lives when we're not traveling. But anyway, less about that. We started our channel at the end of 2019, and obviously a couple of short months later, the world shut down due to COVID, and so did travel. Airports closed, airlines weren't flying, and hotels weren't. It was like a place for people to go if they ended up somewhere they had to quarantine. Like, it just wasn't. Travel wasn't a thing in 2020, along with a lot of other things that people experienced. And, our channel being so young, it forced us basically into this whole, our channel was like a young kid that was forced to grow up so quickly. And so we had to think about, what are we doing here? What are we doing with this channel? Should we even keep it going? How do we have a travel channel when we can't travel? And so it really helped us start to catapult our thinking into what YouTube can do for you and what you can do for YouTube and how to manage a channel and how to create these videos and what you can do to keep going and get viewers and all of the things. So I really think that our experience on YouTube has led us to a point where it's like, you know what? YouTube has always been there for us. Honestly, it's a place that you can put all of your content, whether it's a podcast, video tutorials, mini movies, documentaries, vlogs, anything. It is a one-stop shop for content. And that's why I'm really passionate about brands and businesses being on YouTube. So there's a little bit of backstory about our YouTube channel and how we got started in it. And there are definitely some things that we've learned over the years that we should be doing. And there are plenty more things that we learned we should not be doing. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the list. And some of this may seem kind of harsh, But just know that this is out of our own personal experience with YouTube, and it's actionable advice, things that we highly recommend and adhere to, and we would highly recommend for you as well as a creator. So, all right, number 1 on the list. Don't go into YouTube without having a plan. YouTube is not a place where I would recommend just uploading random videos to without any editing, any thought behind them, anything. What's your goal? The ultimate goal for the channel. Think about what you're doing with the end goal in mind. Are you looking to monetize? Are you looking to grow subscribers and viewership and listenership? Are you looking to get leads for your business? Are you looking to just help people? What are your goals with the channel? How does the channel serve you? And think about, what type of content, what your lengths of videos, how you want to get your message and share your voice with the world. Yes, the world. YouTube is the second most popular search engine in the world, behind Google, of course. So there's a chance that hundreds of thousands and millions of people at some point will come across your content. Think about how you are presenting yourself on your channel. So absolutely have a plan, get something together. This isn't the time to be all willy-nilly about it. So that will definitely help you in the long run, and you will thank me later. So number 2 on the list, don't expect to go viral. No one should ever expect to go viral on any platform, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, nothing. If you go into something expecting that millions of people are going to see your content right off the bat, you're going to be sorely disappointed. And I hate to tell you that, but you need to be realistic about your goals here. I would be willing to say that the probability of you going viral on any social platform might be maybe less than getting struck by lightning. So I don't know if that's actually true or not. Don't quote me. However, if you go into something expecting it's going to be viral, you will be disappointed, and that's just going to discourage you and lead you down a path of wanting to quit. And we're going to talk more about that later. So I know that a lot of us are thinking our content is the best content out there, and there's no reason why something shouldn't go viral. Newsflash, basically, the type of content and whether or not something is the best is relative. You have the opinion about your content. Another creator has their opinion about their own content. What constitutes something the best? So riddle me that. It's relative and opinion-based, as is art. So thinking that something is better than something else, or, certainly there are aspects that can help you get in front of more people. We'll also talk more about that later. And garner more likes and subscribers and things like that. That's not an attainable goal, is to go viral. So, all right, moving on. Tip number 3. Don't, for the love of God, upload shitty video quality. And again, I hate to be so harsh, but what constitutes shitty video quality? Basically, anything, in my humble opinion, under 780 or 720p is less than acceptable for YouTube. Honestly, it's less than acceptable for anything these days. I would highly recommend 1080p, which is high definition, and even 4K. There was a rumor going around maybe a year or two ago that YouTube was pushing the 4K content because it was having a moment. 4K was the newest, hottest thing, and these cameras were coming out and things like that. I don't know if that's actually true or not. However, nobody wants to watch shitty video quality. Now, I will say, a lot of webcams, if you're recording a podcast, maybe don't offer that quality. They're very expensive, very cumbersome, and that's not possible. Now, I do think that there are different requirements for podcasts versus something like a travel vlog. If you're showcasing landscape and skies and beautiful colors and trying to tell a story through what you're showing on the screen, that's a little different. If you are a podcast and you're sitting stationary, maybe you've got a couple of different camera angles, that's great. I don't know, in my opinion, that 4K quality is super, super important unless you're Joe Rogan, which most of us aren't. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's sketch to ever get to that level, but I hope you do. And like I said, it is possible. So think about the type of content that you're putting out there and what your quality should be, but nothing less than 720. Sorry. All right. And actually, in the sense of video quality too, please do not upload videos that haven't been edited in some form. People don't want to see the long, awkward pauses in between takes, and just think about how you would want to see content and how you would want to consume it. So just keep that in the back of your mind. All right. Number 4, don't forget about audio quality. Obviously, YouTube is considered a video platform. That's what most of the content on YouTube is being consumed as. However, if you are putting your podcast on YouTube, which you should be, do not forget about audio quality. That is of the utmost importance. I am going to give you some statistics courtesy of riverside.fm. 85% of companies doing podcasts are using video, just an FYI. 64% of new podcast consumers prefer video first. Okay, we've got that, and we're still going to talk about audio here. 38% of those consumers who prefer video are using YouTube as their preferred podcast platform. 75% believe that video will become the default for recording podcasts. Now, when you consume a podcast, what are you consuming mostly? You're consuming audio. So just as an audio-only podcast, the utmost importance is applied to audio for that. It should also be that way for YouTube. I don't know if you know this or not, but you can have a video playing on YouTube and set it down and just listen to the audio. There are plenty of podcasts on YouTube that aren't even showing you video. It's just audio. So there's no reason why we should not give more consideration to the quality of audio, especially on YouTube. So there are plenty of devices out there that can help enhance your audio quality. Pay attention to the quality of your microphones and sources going into your computer. Are you using a mixer? Are you using an interface? And pay attention to that. And there are other aspects of audio that we can get into later on. Maybe I'll have my friend Jeremy Schreifels on to talk more about how to enhance audio quality for your YouTube podcast at some point. But for right now, we're going to continue moving on with the list. Number 5, do not use copywritten content. That includes your favorite Bruno Mars song. That includes your favorite clips from your favorite movies. Now, I will say, this matters more, especially for monetized channels. Obviously, now YouTube did integrate a creator share, which is basically you share revenue with the artist of the music that is being used in your YouTube video. There are also websites that you can obtain royalty-free music from. If you're not aware, royalty-free music is music that is put on a typically paid platform that you can use, and you don't have to worry about that because artists receive royalties, hopefully, from platforms for their music being played. So it's a way to get the creators paid, of course, and that's typically how they are. Majority of how they're paid. So it's really important to understand the concept behind that and why you shouldn't use it, and why YouTube will take drastic measures in removing your content if you use it. Now, if you are a monetized channel, you have 6 seconds of copywritten content allowance, I should say. So if I'm out filming somewhere and there happens to be a song on the radio at a restaurant and you can hear it in the background, I have 6 seconds that I can include in the video without being hit with a copyright claim. So that's important to know. Also, the same goes for television clips, movie clips, anything that has copyright behind it. So just make that, keep that in the back of your mind. Also keep that in the back of your mind if you're not monetized yet, but you plan to. So what I did when we started our channel was I started using royalty-free music right away with the goal of monetizing. So when eventually our channel did become monetized, I didn't have to worry about content pre-monetization being removed. And we can capitalize off of videos that we had already created before we monetized. So it's just smart thinking. Think about the future with that. I will say that I sometimes will allow pieces of copywritten content to be in our video, but I do try to avoid it out of respect for artists being paid. So it's something that YouTube, like I said, will take drastic measures for. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll cut the audio out of your video entirely. So then it pretty much makes it unwatchable. Sometimes they'll take the video down. And one important thing to remember is that once you upload content to YouTube, YouTube owns your content. So keep that in the back of your mind too. All right, moving on. Number 6, don't disable comments or any metrics. People love transparency. And when I say don't disable metrics, I mean don't hide the likes and the dislikes for your videos, and don't disable the comments. People love commenting and interacting, and they want to see that you're a real human being, and they want to be able to create that connection with you. So it's really important for you to keep those metrics transparent on your channel so that people know what's going on and they feel less connected the more that you tried to hide. And that can really hurt the viewership and the loyalty that a subscriber has towards your video content and your audio content too. So make sure that you keep all of that very visible so that you can continue to create and maintain that connection. All right, now on to number 7. Don't gloss over the thumbnail. Your YouTube videos should have thumbnails on them. A thumbnail is the first impression that someone gets when they see your video. Even if it is just audio, make sure that thumbnail is bright, engaging, has really vibrant colors, or something that super stands out to make it stand out from the rest of the content next to it. I don't know if you've ever searched on YouTube for a video. I mean, your video is literally among millions. You want your thumbnail to stand out to people so that they click on your video. So don't gloss over the thumbnail. Make sure that you actually spend time and invest in that, because that is the first impression and it is the decision maker for someone to watch your content, which then obviously spirals and funnels into, do they stay engaged? Do they watch more of your content? Do they subscribe? And this is how you build on YouTube. So make sure you are paying special attention to your thumbnails. Number 8, don't forget, and no one ever talks about this, don't forget about SEO, search engine optimization. Going back to when we were talking about expecting to go viral, part of the reason why you should never expect to go viral is because I guarantee you, if you're not thinking about SEO, your video is not getting recommended and not coming up in front of people without it. So pay special attention to that. I can honestly tell you that I understand very little about SEO, but there are people out there that do. We have a wonderful woman on our team who definitely understands SEO and has helped us grow our clients' YouTube channels and our own YouTube channel too. The point is that you need a process and a strategy to help get recommended to people. And because people aren't searching for your content if they don't know you exist. This is the way to get people to know that you exist, and then let the thumbnail help them decide if they want to watch your content. But getting in front of them is first and foremost. And you can't do that without some backlinks and keywords and hashtags and all of that logical stuff that, quite honestly, I just don't do well with. And it's like the logical side of my brain that's like, ugh, technology or technical stuff. And I just can't wrap my head around it. But that's fine because, like I said, there are people that do. So if you are really looking to grow your brand and your channel and your business, SEO is something that you should absolutely invest in 199%. So think about that. There are also tools out there like vidIQ, TubeBuddy, TubeRanker, tools like that will help you with some SEO, finding your keywords, finding your hashtags, and guiding you where you should put your information in and all of that stuff. So there are definitely some guides out there to help you get started on that if you're not ready to hire a full-time or part-time SEO person. So just a little information there for you as well. Number 9. Don't compare your channel with other channels. It goes for anything in life. The more that you compare something to something else, that is your thief of joy. Being on YouTube should honestly be fun. It should be exciting. It should be something that you look forward to dealing with. And comparing yourself to another channel that is remotely like yours is just, it's stealing your joy. It really is. If I compared our channel to another travel vlog, it doesn't even need to be Karen8. Karen8 have like 4 million subscribers. We do not. We have just over 1,000 basically. And me comparing our channel to them, first of all, is just wrong. Secondly, I would get so incredibly discouraged that I would probably want to quit and end up doing so at one point. So that's just going nowhere good. Every channel is different, and it should be that way. You want to stand out. You want people to come to you to watch you for certain reasons. And there's space for everybody on YouTube. Just because they're watching your competitor doesn't mean they're not going to watch your video next. So there's no point in comparing your content and your channel with someone else. Certainly, I absolutely encourage you to check out your competitors, see what they're doing. Are some trends working for them? Can you try those trends? Are some things not working? And maybe take some advice from them and don't do some things from, just that channel's experience. There's no reason why you can't use them to help guide you in your channel too. But just comparing and especially just going deep diving and thinking, my content's better and I should have more subscribers, I should have more views, is just literally stealing your joy and is not going to get you anywhere good. Focus on your content, delivering the best quality content you can in the best way that you know how, and encourage people to come to your channel. That is the best mindset and attitude and will help you become more successful on YouTube. All right, moving on to the last one. We have number 10. Don't sleep on other types of content. So say you start your channel with the intent of a travel vlog or just a podcast. There's no reason why you can't do other types of content on that same channel. So we talked earlier about YouTube being a one-stop shop for content. Depending on how familiar you are with YouTube, they actually allow some organization in the form of playlists. So you can dedicate playlists, specific ones to specific things. You can have a playlist for video tutorials. You can have a playlist for your podcast. You can have a playlist for any separate type of content that you want. Let's just say that you are a hair and makeup and beauty influencer, right? So there's so much that you can do around that. You can have your podcast. That's a separate playlist. You can do video tutorials. That is your separate playlist. You can also go out and film people in the street. Just stand there in a street corner in busy street and randomly interview people and say, hey, what's your favorite hair product right now? What do you love using for curly hair? Things like that, just like random fun content ideas. You can do so many different things with YouTube. And that's why I so believe in it as a platform to showcase the opportunities that you offer and who you are as a brand owner and business owner. And it's a great way to get people to know you. And I'm such a believer in it. So definitely think about the different types of content that you can host on there. And, we always like to go a little bit above and beyond, and I believe in the power of one more. So I'm going to give you a bonus tip, okay? Don't get discouraged and quit. That, I think, above all, is the most important thing. As we all know, consistency is key for anything you're doing, and YouTube is no exception. Getting discouraged, which comparing other channels and thinking that your quality isn't good enough, even though you're doing the best that you can, there's no reason or you're not getting the views that you think you should be getting, or the subscribership, or any of that stuff that can obviously easily weigh on you and discourage you. And it's a lot easier in those moments to allow that feeling to take over and help you move towards quitting. And unfortunately, a lot of people succumb to that. A lot of people ask, how many videos should I be uploading a week? How much content should I be putting out there? How long should my videos be? And there's all of these questions surrounding your content and how you're presenting it. And I honestly think that the most important question should be, how can I keep this going? How can I make this more sustainable for me to keep going? Because I know that the consistency is key. Yes, I think that you should be putting out one long form video a week on YouTube. Yes, I think you should be doing shorts. Yes, I think that your podcast should stay under 30 minutes. I'm nearing 30 minutes now, and I'm trying to be mindful of this. And that doesn't always happen. I understand that interviews go long, and I've had 45-minute conversations. I've had hour conversations on my podcast, and these will somehow make it to YouTube at some point anyway. This podcast is on YouTube, just an FYI. But I'm not saying that there won't be an hour-long episode at some point. And I'm not saying that maybe I might miss a video a week or something like that, but it's okay to do that. You just don't quit. Don't quit. That, out of everything, will help you lose momentum the most. People like to see consistency. They like to know that you're the real deal. And maintaining that is the most important. If you upload 5 videos to your channel because you only got 2 views on each one, and people come to understand that that's what happened, they lose respect. They're also not going to watch your content. That's not going to help anybody. So when you dive into the world of YouTube, dive in, dive deep, and continue swimming. And I cannot emphasize that enough. YouTube can be so powerful for you, if I haven't emphasized that enough already. If you're going to do it right. So don't quit. Don't give up. There are plenty of people that have had their channels for 10 years, 15 years, and are just starting to see real results now. And real results are relative too. depending on your goals. So, we've had our channel for 5 years now, and we're at just over 1,000 subscribers. But honestly, we could be putting in more effort too. And if we did, we'd see more growth. I have a client that has over 20,000 subscribers, and, he's seeing amazing growth and doing once a week. And I have another client that is brand new, growing so much so that YouTube audited his last video to make sure he was a human and not a bot. And everybody sees different results. So don't give up. Keep going. Get to where you want to be. You can make YouTube work for you and see the results that you ultimately want to see. So, all right, I'm going to follow my own advice, and I'm going to end it there. If you have thoughts about YouTube that maybe I didn't discuss, anything you have to recommend, drop us a line at enTICEingmedia@gmail.com. And that's enTICEingmedia@gmail.com. You can visit our website, enTICEingmedia.com. And of course, if you're interested in having somebody manage your channel for you, edit your videos, hit us up. That's what we do. And we would be happy to have a conversation about that. If you've been looking to dive into YouTube and just haven't pulled the trigger yet, let us know. Let's have a conversation. Let's get you there. So, all right, you guys, I want to thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you take a lot of this information and apply it to your own channel. I am here to help. Reach out anytime if you have questions. And as always, I will see you on the next one.
To learn more about how to tell your story, connect with Nell at enTICEingmedia.com. That's ENTICEING media.com. Thanks for listening to the What the Nell podcast.